And still today, the state Senate is controlled by Republicans. And the state Senate could pass any number of initiatives that could speak to your thoughts regarding expenditures in this case. Medicaid specifically continues to outpace inflation. And most people don't realize that it's nursing home care that's paid through Medicaid that's really a driver in terms of that inflation growth. Additionally, in-classroom instruction, not the building of schools, but the teaching in schools, is the cost driver in education. I'm looking forward to anyone in the Republican caucus getting up and telling us how we offset the 45% reduction that's invested in Medicaid, in education, in corrections, that we will lose with John Kasich and the income tax elimination. You know, details are sticky things. I don't think we should have to wait till John Kasich comes before the City Club and tells us the details. I just hope that at some point he comes clean to the people here in Ohio and tells us where he would cut. Today in Ohio, there are 5,000 fewer state employees than the day Ted Strickland took office. The growth of his budgets, first one and second one, slowest growth budgets in 30 years in state government. I mean, those are the facts, and those I just lay them on the table and let people discuss them.
Now we'll go to another question.
Good day. My name is Michael Dover, and there was one thing, Mr. DeWine, in your statement criticizing Judge Brown that I did agree with. You called for candidates for public office in the state to have bold, visionary ideas. And although I disagreed with your two-time implication that social workers don't have policy advocacy skills, I like that. We need bold, visionary ideas. Representative Sutton has called for bold ideas, and the President of the United States of America, all of our presidents, has called for the American people to propose bold ideas for change for the better. I would like to know from each of you, what kinds of bold, visionary ideas do you, your party, and your candidates have to offer the people of Ohio and this nation?
Kevin, go ahead.
Look, I think, again, not to dodge the question on policy, but there will be a place in time over the course of the next 8 months where Kasich and Strickland will roll out their policy. That's their job. That's the candidate's job. But listen, I have said all along, since I took over the party a year ago, was it's not good enough to just criticize the other side. It's not good enough. What you have to have is a vision and an agenda and a plan that people can buy into. I don't want the Republican Party to be a party of just against things. I want people to vote for us, not because they're against the other guy. I want them to vote for me and for my candidates and my party because of what we offer, because of the vision that we lay out, because of the things we're for, not just the things we're against. That will roll out over the course of the next 8 months.
You know, I don't think you have to wait 8 months for Ted Strickland to roll out his initiatives. He's been speaking about these things for 3 years. And as I mentioned, if you would just go to tedstrickland.com and read his State of the State, green initiatives, for instance, green energy initiatives, one of the core areas where the governor has paid close attention to in the past, as Kevin pointed out, we have in Ohio now one of the most strongest, aggressive initiatives that compel public utilities to invest in alternative forms of energy. It's a portfolio that most states don't even have, and ours is among the best in the nation. That was an initiative that the governor suggested in his first State of the State that was embraced by Democrats and Republicans alike. There are other areas. Small but important, community banks and credit unions, making sure that county funds could be invested in community banks or credit unions, but not at the expense of others, perhaps making sure they're living by the same regulatory environment, is a good way that in counties with rollover dollars overnight, you could invest in communities. There are other things, specifically adjusting the tax code so that when you put in solar panels on a residential home here in Ohio, you're rewarded for good consumer behavior through the tax code.
Chris,
those are things that the governor and others have mentioned that we could speak upon during the course of the next several months.
Thank you. I wanted to try to get a couple more questions in. We've got some more hands.
Sorry.
Hi. This question is directed to Mr. Redfern. Recently, you have accused the Republican Party of lying and cheating and stealing elections. As the Vice Chairman of the Cuyahoga County Republican Party, I ask if you would like to clarify and await your apology.
Yeah, I think that John Kasich is lying to the people of our great state when he suggests Ohio, the governor has cut education for the first time since 1992. The fact is that this is the largest investment in public education in our state's history. The fact is that Scott Brown, in the case of the Massachusetts election, misstated the positions of the Democratic senatorial nominee, the Attorney General of the state of Massachusetts, when it came to holding Wall Street accountable. The facts are that John Kasich was in fact a managing partner at Lehman Brothers, and he now has walked back from that as well. I don't dismiss or walk back or deny any of the accusations or the suggestions I've made, nor will I, specifically to your concerns, walk back from yours.
Truth of the matter is that this is the first state aid cut for schools that we have had since the DeRolf case was filed in 1992. First time state aid has been cut to schools since 1992.
We conveniently don't tell the people in this room that more than $1 billion in additional federal monies was
one-time federal stimulus money that's not promised or available for us next time.
Was invested in classroom instructions because the governor, as well as Republican leaders in the Senate and the House, in the Senate, including the president of the Senate, agreed to the governor's budget to invest in those areas. I mean, think about it. The Republican president of the Senate agrees with the governor's investment in public education, yet the chairman of the Republican Party has a disagreement with both of those leaders.
You chastise me about facts. I'm just telling you the facts. Facts are the governor's budget, as was laid out, and the budget that was passed cuts state aid for schools for the first time since 1992.
Is it collectively the largest investment in public education in our state's history?
It might be if you look at state and
well,
federal dollars, especially if
someone who works
in
the party, you know what you're going to get.
One-time federal stimulus.
Let's try to get one more question in here. We've got a couple minutes. I think we're just about there. We'll leave it there. Look, as we head into the campaign, there's going to be a lot more debate on these issues. These guys are great spokespeople for their parties and the issues, and now we'll look forward to hearing from the actual candidates. Good.
Thank you all.
Today at the City Club, we have been listening to a Friday Forum featuring Kevin DeWine, chairman of the Ohio Republican Party, and Chris Redfern, chairman of the Ohio Democratic Party, and moderated by Mark Naymik, political writer with the Cleveland Plain Dealer. Thank you, Mr. Redfern and Mr. DeWine and Mr. Naymik. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This forum is now adjourned.
For information on upcoming speakers or for podcasts of the City Club, go to cityclub.org.